back. We're starting to have this conversation with you at home and also our audience here in Fourways, just north of Johannesburg. And we're talking youth and how can they move South Africa forward, especially given the enormous challenges that these young people are facing. Well, let's go straight to our tables then, and then we'll look at your Twitter questions as well. And we have Caroline on table number 12. Caroline Jungun, I think. You'll have to correct that surname. I can't quite read it. Table number 12, Caroline. Thank you.
Okay, my question would be, what measures have you put in place to monitor and curb the drug use among our youth and in schools?
Okay, so drug abuse is huge. It's enormous, worldwide problem, but with porous borders, we're also seeing an increase in new types of drugs coming through. What's government and NYDA doing?
Look, I mean, obviously there's police intervention, and I think that at the center of fighting drug abuse is to do it the old school way, is to get communities organized against pushers of drugs, is to get parents to be concerned about, what their children are doing, is to get schools to be protected environment. So, it is we in the community, in the street, who knows the people who sell the drugs, whom we should be exposing, whom we should be reporting to, the police and all of that. But I think more importantly is to say to young people, drugs are not cool, but school is cool. That's the bottom line. If, as the youth, we appreciate that, then there's no amount of nyaupe or whatever drug that is sold to us that will persuade us to become drug addicts.
If school is cool, why is it that more than half of those kids that start grade 1 are not finishing grade 12? Where are they going? Where's the system failing them? Because these are the guys that are actually going to end up being vulnerable and being picked up by these drug pushers.
Well, most definitely. Most of the young people who do not complete their grade 12 either end up in FET colleges or end up, in the streets or end up, joining the queue of the unemployed. And I think that's where government's intervention, business intervention, and everybody else's intervention.
But you're not winning this, though. You're not coping.
We're not?
You're not coping. You're not managing to arrest this problem.
Look, I mean, firstly, I think one of the most valuable NYDA program, which I think most young people need to be going into, is the Second Chance program, which gives young people opportunities to get back into the education system. But beyond that, I think that, we have to get young people encouraged, to become entrepreneurs. The figures which we are getting is that most young people who go into an NYDA offices, for them, it's not about being entrepreneurs. So it's not whether you complete grade 12 or not. That is important. That is very critical. But I think it is about what you do if you are not able to complete grade 12. And there are multiple opportunities which government have created.
Yershen, quick comment, and then we'll go back to the floor.
Well, I think there's got to be a collective effort. I can recall a partnership between the NYDA and SAB called the You Decide campaign, which is a partnership that encourages young people to abstain from alcohol abuse. And then a partnership with the South African National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse, where we train peer counselors, because we know the impact of peer pressure in the fight against alcohol and drug abuse. So these partnerships that are maybe practical examples of how we can win the war against alcohol and substance abuse through a more concerted collective effort at the end of the day.
Table 19, Kumo Mutsisi. Table number 19, your thoughts?
Good morning. My question was, since the government is investing a lot in education and skills development, there's learnerships and education subsidies. My question is, what is the success rate and what are the guarantees that after they've completed the learnerships that they will get employed? Thank you.
Okay. I mean, it's this perennial question, isn't it? We'll ask you, Bernice, just now as well, but start with you. Yeah.
Look, there are obviously no proven guarantees that once a young person have completed their learnerships, they will be employed. But the reason why one gets into a learnership is not only to be employed, it's further learning, further skilling, but it also means exploring further opportunities that may be available. One of the things which we have to work on is a situation where young people are taken in as learnerships, to become doctors, to become trainee administrators or IT practitioners, and then they end up, making tea and, sweeping the floors and all of that. That we have to challenge, that we have to expose, because business or the private sector and government has the responsibility to ensure that learners are, trained in the field which, they have applied for. So I think that that's going to be important
Bernice,
to monitor.
You cannot possibly absorb huge numbers of young people that are literally swarming into this realm of unemployment, leaving school and needing these learnerships and these opportunities. What can be done?
Like for instance, we have learners that are on a jewelry manufacturing learnerships. So these learners, they'll go through level 2, 3, 4. And once they get to level 4, we organize them into businesses. So, but what we're saying is we're not forcing them because they've studied together, then we're forcing them to be cooperatives. What we're saying is we will house you under a hub, and we will create or turn you into companies. So if there are 3 or 4 people who want to form a company, they are more than welcome to do that. And if there are people that feel that they want to be sole proprietors, we also allow that environment to accommodate them, so that when an order comes through, they will all share in the order, and they will also be able to outsource to the person sitting right next to them. So it is all about entrepreneurship. It's all about creating businesses for yourself. Okay. That's what we're advocating.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but I'm hoping that we also have other members of the private sector here, because I'm quite interested to know what do you need, what help do you need to make sure that we get our young people employed? All of that coming up after this break. Stay with us.